Hello, this is Shauna with Soymilkmuse, and we're going to come along today and see if I can recreate this cover for the Sojourn redo. So I had a go at it, and I didn't quite get it to the satisfaction of the person who is wanting to purchase this journal. So I'm going to have another try. Let's see if we can do it better this time. Okay, so I cut out a 5x7 and a 4x6 because I wasn't sure if this is a 5x7 or a 4x6. So I thought, well, we'll just build both of these background covers and then see what it looks like with the other things on the front of the journal to see if we can get it to look as close as possible. So first would be the stenciling on here, rounding the corners, of course. Let's just do that real quick so we don't forget. And I've done 2 of these already. And this looks a little different. Like maybe I printed this one without fit to frame. Yeah, that's probably what happened. On the printer settings, some of these printables are, you lose a bit of them if you fit to frame. You lose a bit of the edge, so that's probably what I did here, was I unchecked that box, so I got the whole picture, but it was slightly smaller. Okay, so we use this stencil, and if you are curious, it is, I think I've said before on this, but if this is your first time catching it, it's a Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz THMM 160, and it's a stamp and stencil combination set. And I believe I used Lucky Clover on that. So trying to get it in the same area so we leave as much of the wing as possible. And let's see, let's look for something identifying on the wing here. Maybe this point where it comes down. And then there's a see, the line is to the side of that, so it's kind of more in this area right under, and it doesn't start until this area. So okay, we'll give that a go. I think it looks pretty even. Let's try to keep it in this lower area. And the colors, of course, look a little bit different because this is a picture of a picture. You know, like how that goes. Okay. So size-wise, the stencil on that image looks pretty good. Let's see, I'm gonna come down in this area. I'm gonna try to keep it lower so there's more of the wing area. Okay, so hopefully that's the right spot. Okay, and then we have our gold splatters on there. So let's rehydrate those watercolors. And I actually had an idea. I wanted to try, I would try it on a different image first. I'd gotten this Amsterdam acrylic ink, so I want to compare the colors. We can actually do it on this piece, so it's not a total waste. Let's get something to cover up our other images here. have to see if I shook it well enough. This is a really beautiful ink. I was hoping that it would work for calligraphy, but it's a bit thick. And it could be I just am not doing it right. So I picked up another one also the other day to try. It's a speedball calligraphy ink, but it's also in gold, so it's, I think, a bit lighter though. And I really like the color of this. I think it's closer to the watercolor I've been using too. Right. I was rinsing my brush. Let's try. I think it's a bit thick. Since it's an acrylic ink, I should be able to use water. So let's try adding just a little bit of water and see what kind of consistency we get here. Okay, whoopsie. I'm going to dry this with the heat tool real quick. So I'm going to pause you so you don't have to listen to it. Okay. Didn't take long. Oof. Obviously I can't dry it when it's on this gold stuff because it curled the paper, but not with heat. But yeah, I like that. I think it's good and permanent. I think the color's good. Compared to the other one, I think it looks nice. So it is pretty stinking close. Let me rinse this. Oof. Getting a paper towel here. It's got little pieces of fabric all over it. Okay, and then let's compare that to our other gold. Can't get quite as big a, there we go. All right, and then we'll remember just above here, that's our watercolor gold. So I'm gonna dry it with the heat tool again real quick. Okay, that's dry. So I'm gonna bring you in a little closer so you can maybe see the difference between this acrylic ink on this side, kind of on his face, and then the watercolor over here. And to avoid having to seal, you know, the watercolor, I think the acrylic ink might work better. So that might be my new splatter stuff. I like it. I don't see a difference in the color. I think it looks the same to me. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna use that this time. And I don't think it matters if a little bit of watercolor gets mixed in because it's just pigment mostly. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside because we can still use that little bit. For just a second, and then for these guys, most of the splatters, it looks like in this original picture, it looks like larger splatters down here, a little bit to the side. There's probably some smaller ones in there somewhere. Okay. So we're gonna cover their wee faces. Make sure we don't get watercolor on their faces. Or, you know, ink. Okay, I'm gonna actually, whoopsie, move this aside and give these guys a little splatter. Okay. Kind of want some up there. I don't know if that's even going to show up there, but we'll find out. Okay. uncover their faces, and I'm going to pause you again while I dry them real quick. Okay, so those are dry. And as you can see, it's quite difficult to predict exactly where your splatters are going to land. That's kind of a, you know, a game of chance. You can cover places and kind of direct it, but the splatters are going to go where they're going to go. So that is my best effort at recreating this portion. And now we need to put them on, oh, we need to ink them first, the edges. Get rid of any of the white around the edges. Yeah, I would say trying to recreate a previous work is probably harder than coming up with something new. For sure, because I don't know. Yeah. But we'll do the best job we can. Okay, so we've got those inked, and then I'm going to glue them down, and I'm gonna do art glitter glue around the edge, and then I'm gonna use some of my Fabrifix acetone based silicone glue so that we don't warp too badly, because it's a little hard to stick them down when they're warpy. Sorry about the glare of that. Hopefully it'll not blind you too much before I get this down on it. Okay, got the edge. Now let's go in with the, I should have refilled this before I started again. Got little glue threads on there. Okay, just gonna kind of knock this bead down around the edge so that hopefully it won't seep out onto that gold. And then try to line it up. There's some right there on the very edge. Okay. And we can always trim it a bit if we need to. I think this is probably a larger piece than it's on the previous one. Sorry, it's very hot today, so if you hear deep sighs, that's just, goodness, it's hot. I have my fan going in here, but yeah, it's still pretty warm. It's nearly, well, it's probably 4 o'clock by now in the afternoon, and that's usually the warmest part of the day here. Let's get that side. Okay, that's gonna have lace over it anyway, if we, on that side. Okay, let's get the other one down. tried to put a little bit less, so maybe we'll have less seepage. Okay. This one I think is a bit closer to the size it was supposed to be. Let's see if we can slide it at all. There we go. That's better. Okay. Okay, well, let's see what they look like on the cover, how close to the correct size they are. And this cover is a little different in the sense that I put these bindings on what would have been, or what is, you know, the spine, but I did a hidden spine instead of exposed spine on this one. Pull this picture in. So on this one, the hinges are on the third fold rather than the spine, and I had a beaded spine on this one. So that's a little different. I couldn't take these, that's from glue. I couldn't take the brads and stuff out. Those are too secure, and I didn't want to redo the entire cover, which would basically entail redoing the entire journal. So we're good. We're gonna work with what we've got here. Yeah, there's still, you can see some shiny, there's still a little glue on here, and this here, the ginkgo leaf. But other than that, I was able to take it back down to the lace. So let's have our reference here, and then this would cover the brads a bit, but that's okay. Oh, and it needs to not cover this. And then let's get our little piece of lace. I don't know how far this lace went. Did it go the whole length? It looks as though it does. I'm just trimming the header off of it real quick. I haven't disappeared. I think my brain has melted from the heat. I am so looking forward to going out with the chickens this afternoon and watering and refilling our little kiddie pool. I get to play in the water. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have a sip of my, oh, I don't know if I showed you guys. Try not to show you. Well, it's got little coffee drips on the top, but it's not over the journal, Shauna. I'm gonna put my finger here so I don't go too far, but it's Lord John Gray on a coffee mug, and I bought it on Etsy. And on the side it says, "And I am not bloody sorry." So anyway, since I did the Outlander fan journal with you guys, I ordered this when we were doing that. And me being the klutz that I am, I've already cracked it. I knocked it over on my granite countertop, just like a cat knocking something over, you know, with their paw. I went to reach for the coffee pot and oh goodness. Yeah, I'm not the most graceful person. Yeah, I used to joke my middle name is Grace, but it's not. I was just joking. Okay, let's see. On this, I'm gonna get our shiny side. And it had these little scallops going towards the owl. Okay. And it can come right up to here. Did I have that on both? No. Okay. Okay, and then I had the brown netting, and I bought some more, but I don't think it's the same as what I had. Because, why did I say that? Ugh. Let me pull in some of my scraps over here. I have a scrap, probably from when I was making Sojourn. Actually, yes, because there's some velvet here. And this is a little bit different. This one's more shiny, and this one doesn't seem to have that much of it. Same brand, same manufacturer and everything. Bought it in the same place, but just slightly different. There might be enough of this to do what we need to do. Let's see. Goodness, I have scraps from a lot of different journals in here, like the Purple Journal, Purple Passion, and Sojourn, and the Edith Holden journal, and my Outlander journal, and yeah, lots of scraps. Okay. Let me bring this picture back next to it here. Okay, so we've got our lace that would come all the way to the top. This needs to be torn down a bit because you can see most of its little halo here. I think I tore. I'm like holding it over it. I'm gonna come down that way maybe. Okay, and this, it tears pretty easily, so let's try to bring it down a bit, see how well we did. I'm still on that side of the grommet. And I did not have any of the ribbon left that I used on the closure for Sojourn, and I have no idea where it came from. I don't know if I thrifted it or I looked at the craft store and they did not have any like it. I probably had thrifted it. So that one I can't redo that part. I think like this, and then our cluster had the wrong color of netting. It's got green, and the ones I made this time have green, so we'll need a little bit of this and make a new cluster. So one of these and a scrap of the cover lace. See if I have some in here. I have another big piece, but if I can find a smaller one, I don't know if that one will do. Can you even see it? I don't think. Oh, I've even got scraps from Metamorphosis in here. Let's see. I think I'm gonna have to tear off a new piece. Yeah. Let's see if I can unearth that real quick. 1 second. to hear fabric ripping. Things being knocked over. Okay, so I got a piece of that. This piece might have been coffee dyed. I don't know if the pieces in the clusters were or not. But we can ink it up a bit if we need to. And then we need somewhere around here. Yes, I do have one more of those that I have not cut out, because I have these clusters, but they have the green, oof, the green netting instead of the brown. So let's cut this. There is one of the previous videos in this series that I'm doing, or in this playlist, I should say, that talks about fussy cutting, and also gives a link to Louisa Heinzel's channel, where she has recently done a really good video with fussy cutting tips and tricks. She's faster than I am. She's probably done a lot more of it than I have, but yeah. I tended to avoid fussy cutting at all costs for a long time because it was just too fiddly, and I didn't feel like I was very good at it. And I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it. I'm still not fast, but I've actually learned to enjoy it a little bit. It's kind of meditative, you know, if you got a bunch of it to do. And I was talking before about, you know, sometimes I'll have my pieces kind of cut down to size, you know, like in preparation for fussy cutting, and then I'll just come in here and cut, you know, like 3, and then go do something else, and then come back in here and cut 3. And it's kind of, for me, almost easier to get through a lot that way, to break it up into smaller tasks. But I'm not a person that can watch TV and do things. I can't listen to podcasts while I'm crafting either, as much as I would love to. That's just not the way my mind works. I can listen to music. I can sing along with music. I can sing along with music while I'm doing math. But as far as stories, I can only do one at a time. And for me, crafting, I guess, is as much a story as you know, a movie, or you know, listening to a podcast or an audiobook or something. So even fussy cutting, I've not been able to focus on both things at once. So the only time the music is not playing in my craft room is when I'm sleeping or filming. Other than that, there's always music in my craft room. And for a long time, it was like Lorena McKennitt radio on Pandora. It depends on my mood too. Like I'm a mood-based music listener. Everything from Ani DeFranco to Red Hot Chili Peppers to, you know, Celtic, you know. So lately, though, I have been listening to Elle Ashgrove's YouTube music playlist, and I've really been enjoying that. It's a good flow music for me, especially working on the Celtic journals, because a lot of the songs have a very Celtic feel. Funny too, though, how songs can tell a story, and that's okay for me with crafting, like singing along, like I said. Yeah, but just regular like podcasts or whatever, can't do it. Maybe it has to do with the math factor of music, because music is basically mathematical, you know. And I did train myself years ago when I was a movie theater manager, and I trained myself to be able to count down tills accurately while I was listening to my employee talk about whatever they needed to talk about, and remember what they said, as well as have an accurate count of my till. It's a different kind of multitasking, isn't it? Okay, so we have this done. I'm gonna give it a little ink. Just get rid of those white edges. And we're gonna give it a little gold splatter. I don't know if I think the other ones I splattered after I made them. Yeah. So let's make it first. So on this one, we have the leaf behind. I might need to ink it up a little bit too. Oops, let's see what I'm doing. Okay, so there's the leaf. And then we had the lace. And it's just a small piece. Okay. And then we had some of the netting. Is that piece even big enough? I think there was some more in there. Yeah, there's another piece. Okay. So, like that. I don't know if you can see very good what I'm trying to get at here. This guy. It's gonna be like that, and we've got our lace. It's got more of the green showing probably, and then this, maybe that way. It came out a little bit further this way, maybe. Okay. And then our moth. And I do have, I guess I had a feeling I was going to need them. I saved some little scraps of the scrubby we used for the moth antenna. And in case you didn't see that, this is scrubby yarn that you can buy. And I just used small pieces of it because it reminded me of like moth feelers, you know? Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting some of this together. I'm just gonna kind of tack it together to start. I'm gonna make sure I'm kind of heading the same direction. Okay, let's get back in between here with a little bit of our glitter glue. Okay, and then we can take these antenna, stick in there. double check it one more time. I think that's probably as good as we can get on that. And I grab my Tim's Tiny Attacher, and I'm gonna go right through the center of its little body if I can. Okay, I got it. For a second I was like, am I out of staples? But it got it. Okay. So there's that. Size-wise, I think we might be okay with this owl. It's really hard to hold everything in place without gluing it. Like there. And then we have, out of this, we have one of these tiny flowers in the center. It's back over here again. Maybe see one of those tiny flowers there. So let's get one of those out. I think it's this size. Yeah, it looks like this size compared to that, which is over here. Trying to cut as closely, sorry, probably been out of frame there, as close to the little trim around the flowers as I can. Just basically cutting that tool backing off. Yeah, by trims like this is an affordable way to get a lot of appliques. So we have that, and then I think I cut these two apart. I'm not certain. I'm gonna start with them together. And see if I need to take them apart. I might not need to. Yes, a big thank you to Deborah if she's watching. For purchasing the Women of the Woods. I was so surprised. I stayed up super late. I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, a little after 3 o'clock in the morning before I went to bed, and the video was still uploading. And I put it in my shop right before I uploaded the video. I'm not sure how long the video took to upload because I was asleep by then. But by the time I woke up in the morning, Deborah had purchased the journal. So awesome. Thank you so much, Deborah. That just totally made my day. And I thought it was very appropriate that it, you know, was posted and sold on the first day of summer. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, let's see what our time is. 39 minutes. We got a few minutes left here. So we'll get our positioning. I'm not sure if we'll have time to glue anything down, but hopefully enough to make the decision as to whether this is the correct size. But at least both of them are done, so then I can just switch out that base part. Nothing is glued down until I'm sure. And then the next video will either be a bit more work inside of this journal, or the flip through. So we will see how far I get. I may only have one day that I can spend working before the next video, so at this point in time, for me, this is Monday, the day after Father's Day, so June 22nd, yeah. And this video should go up tomorrow on Tuesday, and I'm gonna be doing life stuff tomorrow, so I should be able to work Wednesday, and there should be some form of video up Thursday, and then the flip through on Saturday, if not Thursday. So yeah, they're also resurfacing my road right now, and so Thursday we cannot get our cars in and out. So yeah, I may just stay home and work all day. I think it's gonna be too hot to want to walk anywhere anyway. But yes, this journal's getting pretty close to done. Just a little bit more to go inside after this cover is finished. Trying to get as much of this tulle off as I can, because I feel like it makes the whole cover look lighter if I leave too much of it. Okay. There, we're getting it. A little bit right here. So where is it hanging on? Right there. Okay. Yeah, I think I did take that out of there, but let's see. Let's see. So be a book plate here. I think the larger one I did will not fit there, but that's okay. And we can come down maybe a little. That doesn't matter if we're over the top of those brads. That looks better with that leaf. Even though this leaf is a little bit different, but I think that's... Is that okay? I don't know. I don't know if that's okay. Let's see. I have... Oh, that's not it. I do have this one. If we... Oh, that looks fairly centered, doesn't it? Okay, so if we put this here, it'll just cover that. Mostly. Like that. And I think I did ink that one up. So let's ink it. Oh, I did add this other trim. I don't think I can get that one off though, so it's gonna have to stay. But I think that's okay because the other lace on the original one came down further there, so there was a lighter portion. I could take some ink to it, I suppose, because I did kind of grunge up the other cover more with the green. Could do. I did this one a little bit. Okay, and then we had the little halo. Let's see if I can peel it apart. Because there is a little bit of green up there. Maybe comes down too far. Let's see if I can get it off of this netting, or at least enough of it off to repurpose that one. It's got some of that cover paper there. The glue's stronger than the paper. Okay. And that was kind of echoing there, up to the top. And then we had more ginkgo. Let's see. I need another larger one to go. I think it's over that. Oh, I had to cut it. That's why. Okay. Kind of like that. And where'd that smaller one go? Did I throw it? Oh, it's on the owl's face. Okay. Oops. And I had it there, and it needs a little haircut too. That doesn't quite look right. I'm gonna have to adjust that a bit because there's not so much white up here. And then a little piece of the green netting in between there. Maybe a little bigger than that. This looks a bit pale from the glue. Let's see what we've got. Pull back in our trusty box of scraps. There we go. That should be big enough. And let's see. Did it come out the top? I think it might come kind of behind up there. So let's see. Maybe this one is too small. Oh. Let's see if we can just kind of cut a little bit closer. And then kind of like that. And then maybe like that. And then like this. Not quite, but okay, this here. That kind of spanning the gap a little bit. I think that is probably pretty stinking close. There's another ginkgo up at the top there. Let's see if I can find the right size. I stripped a whole bunch off my fake plant, so that doesn't look like it. That doesn't look like it. Oh dear. Maybe. I don't know if this one's quite as dark, but I think it was behind. Maybe I had cut one of these down. Oh, it is one of these big ones. Okay. So let's ink it up. That looks better, a little bit. Okay, what do you think, guys? Aside from a book plate. I did color one gold. have the coffee dyed and stamped label in there. What do you think? Drop me a comment. Let me know. Did I get close? Did I hit it? Did I miss it? And if I missed it, what am I missing? All right, I'm not going to glue this down just yet. I'm going to take a picture and send it to the potential buyer and see what they say. But I hope you enjoyed watching me attempt to recreate a journal that cover that I have made before. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.